welcome to Science with Me. My name is Dr. Erica with Rosie Research, and we are making some fun little paper circuit deadly animals, and we are going to do a shark today. So you will need this template. It's printed on both sides, so you might want to make sure that you print it double-sided. You can get this at our website or at patreon.com/rosieresearch. You'll also need some scissors. You'll need some masking tape or scotch tape, anything that's non-conducting, so non-metallic tape. You need copper tape or aluminum tape, some sort of metallic tape. We've got a CR2032 battery, and we also have a whole bunch of LEDs because we are going to make the eyes on this little guy light up. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to cut out our shark mouth and our shark body. Now, if you don't have our template, you could always trace two ovals, and you could sort of follow what we do for the wiring on one of the ovals. So the mouth is the only one that has any wiring on it, which is quite nice. And there's just a little bit of front to back wiring and not a whole lot of bends. So this is a great one for if you are a starter in paper circuits. All right, so let's cut this one out as well. We also have a gray rectangle you'll notice on the template, and that's really just to make it your own. You can add your own fins, either to the side or on top of your shark. It'll allow you to really be super creative with the same color gray. All right, so we're gonna fold this guy in half, and you can kind of see already how the chomping is gonna go for our mouth. Now what we're going to do is we are going to start laying down some copper tape. So the first thing is we're going to lay it down on this bright yellow line, and this one is going to go over to the other side and sort of do a little bit of a squiggle. So I'm going to give myself a nice sort of long piece of copper tape. I don't want to run out at the very end. And I'm also going to start on the side with the squiggle so that if I have trouble bending it, it's really easy to just start again, and I haven't done almost the whole thing. So like all of our paper circuit projects, once you get it started, you want to stick it to the paper instead of peeling it all the way off. So I'm going to stick it down here, and I am going to go straight across, and then when I reach this end, I'm going to sort of bend it so I can go back and down. And if I want to bend going up, I actually first bring my copper tape down, and it creates this nice little fold in it. You don't want to cut your copper tape and add new pieces. It needs to be all one really long piece of copper tape. In fact, if your copper tape rips, you're gonna want to do this again. And that's because once it rips and you lay it on top of each other, you have sort of these highways that are stacked, and the electrons can't get through the glue from one highway to another very well. All right, so when we get to the top, we're still not gonna rip it. We're actually gonna flip our template over, and we're gonna come straight down. All right, so both of these pieces, both of the copper tape lines on here go up and around, or over and around our paper. So it's on both sides. We're gonna cut this copper tape inside of this green circle, all right? Not at the very edge. You wanna go well inside of it, but just not all the way through it. And to rip it, you can just put a thumb down, and you'll get your copper tape like that. And then you can press this down and make sure that it's really well stuck and it's happy. All right, so we're also going to do it here on the darker yellow piece. This one I'm going to start here. It's going to go down. I'm going to make my bends. I'm going to bend away from the direction I want to turn. And then when I come towards the direction, I get this nice little piece right there. All right, and then we are going to just lay down this straight line right here. And at the end of it, I'll just rip it with my nail. We do want to make sure that these two pieces of copper tape are not touching, just like they're not touching in sort of the template that we have. All right, so we can put our battery in and our LEDs in. Let's put our LEDs in first. I'm going to use, I think, some red LEDs. It'll be like an evil shark with evil red eyes. You always want to test your battery and your LEDs and make sure that it'll light the number that you want. So I want to light 2 LEDs so I can put 2 red LEDs along my battery. Now if it's not working, you might have them flipped over because LEDs have a long leg and a short leg. They're like one-way streets. If you put the street the wrong way, the electrons, they're good rule followers and never go the wrong way down the street, and so you won't light up your LED. So sometimes just flipping it around will make it work for you. All right, so let's go on this side. Now the short legs go on the one that was like really bent up and wobbly. It says on our template we have our short legs here and our long legs there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my LED and I'm going to make it sit down so that its legs are sort of in an L shape. All right, and then I'm going to make sure that these short legs go to the bottom part here and the long legs go up there. And then I can use a clear tape, like a Scotch tape, or I could use a tape you can see, like my masking tape, to tape these guys down. You don't want to use copper tape to tape them down. All right, so let's tape this guy in. Make sure the legs are on top of the copper tape. So I'm actually kind of looking on this leg. It looks like it's really close to not being on the copper tape, but I think it'll be just fine. All right, so I could have it here, although I'm kind of not liking it. I liked the idea of having the eyes a little bit more center. So I'm going to take this up really carefully. I didn't quite put this where I wanted to. I'm going to put it right on top of that green dot. I'm going to just bend my legs little bits until they get to the spot where I want them to be. Perfect. All right, and I'm going to make this a little skinnier so that when I tape those legs down, I'm not accidentally also taping over the copper tape right here, which will make it so I cannot tape that second piece down, that second LED. All right, so this is a little bit more on top of where I had wanted my eyes to be. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna check my short legs on the bottom, my long legs on the top, and now I'm gonna bend the LED up so it sort of looks like it's sitting with its legs straight out. And then I'm going to bend those legs again so that they will be right where I want them to be. And I can use another piece of my masking tape to then make that guy sit all the way down. Now I don't need to worry about the size of the second piece of masking tape because this first LED is already down, so I could put it straight down. Now I definitely suggest using some clear tape for this if you have clear Scotch tape, because that will just make your project look a lot better. You won't see where you're putting the tape down. But for the videos, it's a lot easier if you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so these guys should be all wired up. And now is our chance to check. I like to press everything down really good. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to put our battery into the mouth. It'll go right onto that dark green circle. And when we press it shut, our eyes go on. That's perfect, that's exactly what we want. So we just tape our battery in place. So we're gonna take some little pieces of our tape. You're going to tape just around the very edges of this battery. You want to leave as much of that top open as you can. We're just trying to secure that battery in place so that it can stay and be moving around, but also be open to that top piece of tape. All right, so now I have this guy. Let's double check that we're working. Yeah, this one is a little bit less happy. But let's see, we can probably, there we go. All right, so we have these two LEDs on a shark going, and now we are going to tape our mouth down right here and we'll have a chompy shark. Then what we can do is we can add extra fins and extra sort of fun little craft pieces to make our shark even either scarier or less scary. Maybe it sort of depends how you would like your shark to be. So you can just tape it down like this. Now there's still this whole piece that's under here. If you had hot glue, you could definitely glue that. It's fine to glue or tape on this line of wire here. That's totally fine because it will not mess up your circuit. All right, so here is my chompy shark, and maybe I decide I want some fins. We've got this beautiful square or rectangle here of gray that you can use to make a variety of fins. Maybe I want sort of a back fin, and you can cut your own however you would like. Maybe I want mine to look kind of like this. That feels a little shark-like to me. And I could just add a little bit of a fold at the bottom to add this fin in place. And I can use a piece of tape to tape it on down. Now again, if you're using the tape in your project, I really suggest sort of the clear tape. I think the clear tape will make it look a lot better, but the masking tape is helpful for you guys to learn. Just one way that you can really amp up your finished product look. All right, so now I have a fin on the side, which is kind of fun. And maybe I put some side fins. And oh, I definitely need a tail fin. Let's make the tail fin like this. And we'll sort of make this a little bit more curved. Like that. And I can tape that down. And I think I'm going to tape this one underneath so that you can't see quite as much. It'll just hide a little bit of that building process we've got going on. Just like that. And I can even cut that part off. Oh, this is a fun little shark that's coming together. When you press on it, it's got those evil eyes. All right, and now maybe I take a little bit and we do some little side fins. I'm pretty sure sharks also have side fins. So we're just gonna sort of do the best you can, make it creative and yours. That's always my favorite projects to see, the ones that are very unique. I think I'm gonna tape these ones on to the bottom as well. And I mean, I don't even need a very big piece of tape. Just like this. Let's see. I think it should come up this way. Like that. You can really see the shark shape coming together. That's a lot of fun. All right. Now I have this fun little shark for our Animals Week. You can go around and chomp things. It's got this fun mouth on the inside. You're totally welcome to add more things to your shark. And it's got this great on-off switch so that your batteries won't completely die out so quickly. If it's always on, if you leave it always on, it'll probably last a few hours, but then your battery will die. Of course, that's an easy issue because you can just come on in here and change that battery out. Thank you so much for joining us as we build this fun little shark for our Deadly Animals projects. We hope that you will check out our other projects like our scorpion and our snake that utilize toilet paper tubes and paper circuits at the same time. All right, friends, I hope you have a great one, and we'll see you soon. Bye.